king escaped our hands.
While we pursued the horseman of the north, he slyly stole away and left his men.
Lord Stafford's father, Duke of Buckingham, is either slain or wounded dangerously. I cleft this beaver with a downright blow. That this is true. Lady, behold his blood.
Oh, speak thou for me and tell them what I did. Thus do I hope to shake King Henry's head.
Oh, and so do I. Victorious Duchess York, before we see thee seated in the throne which now the House of Lancaster usurps, we vow to heaven our eyes shall never close. For this is the palace of the fearful king, and this the regal seat. Possess it now, for this is thine and not King Henry's heir. We'll plant Plantagenet, root her up who dares. Resolve thee, Duchess, claim the English crown.
All hail the Queen!
My lord, look where the sturdy rebel sits. Even in the chair of state, belike she means to aspire unto the crown and reign as queen. She slew thy father, Clifford, so you vowed revenge on her, her sons, and all her friends.
If I be not, heavens be revenged on me. The hope thereof makes Clifford mourn in steel. What, shall we suffer this? Let's pluck her down. My heart for anger burns. I cannot brook it.
Know you not the city favors them, and they have troops of soldiers at their beck.
When the Duchess is slain, they'll quickly fly.
Far be the thought of this from Henry's heart, to make a shamble of the Parliament House. Thou factious Duchess York, send my throne and kneel for grace and mercy at my feet. I am thy sovereign.
I am thine.
For shame. Come down. He made thee Duchess York.
'Twas my inheritance as the earldom was.
Thy father was a traitor to the crown.
Clifford, thou art a traitor to the crown and following this usurping Henry.
And whom should he follow but his natural king?
True, Clifford, and that is her, the Duchess York.
And should I stand and thou sit in my throne,
And must and shall be so. Content thyself.
Be Duke of Lancaster, let her be queen. We're those who chased you from the fields and slew your fathers, and with color spread marched through the city to the palace gates.
Aye, Edward, I remember it to my grief, and by his soul, thy and thou house shall rue it.
Poor Clifford. How I scorn his worthless threats.
Will you we show our title to the crown? If not, our blades shall plead us in the field.
what title hast thou, traitor, to the crown? I am the son of Henry V, who made the Dauphin and the French to stoop, and seized upon their towns and provinces.
Talk not of France, that thou hast lost it
The
all.
Lord Protector lost it, and not I. When I was crowned, I was but 9 months old.
You are old enough now, and yet methinks you lose. Lady, tear the crown from the usurper's head.
Sweet lady, do so. Set it on your head.
Good mother, as thou lovest and honorest arms, let's fight it out and not stand cavilling thus.
Sound drums and trumpets, and the king will fly.
Lords! Peace!
Peace thou, and give King Henry leave
Plantagenet
to speak.
shall speak first. Hear him all, and be you silent and attentive too, for he that interrupts him shall not live.
Tell me, may not a king adopt an heir?
What then?
And if he may, then am I not lawful king? For Richard, in view of many lords, assigned the crown to Henry IV, whose heir my father was, and I am his.
He rose against him, being his sovereign, and made him to resign his crown perforce.
Suppose, my lady, he did as unconstrained. Think you 'twere prejudicial to his crown?
This is the right, and therefore pardon me.
King Henry, be thy title right or wrong, Lord Clifford vows to fight in thy defense. May that ground gape and swallow me alive, where I shall kneel to her who slew my father?
Oh, Clifford, how thy words revive my heart.
Henry of Lancaster, resign thy crown.
Do right unto this royal Duchess York, or we will fill the house with armed men, and on the throne which now she claimed, write up her title in usurping blood.
Duchess York, hear me but one word. Let me for this my lifetime reign as king.
Confirm the crown to me, and to mine heirs, and thou shalt reign in quiet while thou livest.
I am content, cousin Plantagenet. Enjoy the kingdom after my decease.
What wrong is this unto the prince your son?
What good is this to England and himself?
Base, fearful, and despairing Henry, how hast thou both injured thyself and us? Be thou a prey to the house of York, and die in bands for this unmanly deed.
Turn this way, Henry, and regard him not. He seeks revenge, and therefore will not yield. Why should you sigh, my lord?
Not for myself, Duchess York. For my son, whom I unnaturally shall disinherit. But, be it as it may, I hereby entail the crown to thee and to thine heirs forever, conditionally, that here thou take an oath to cease this civil war, and whilst I live, honor me as thy king and sovereign, and neither by treason nor hostility seek to put me down and reign thyself.
This oath I willingly take, and will perform.
Long live King Henry, and long live the Queen!
Now York and Lancaster are reconciled.
Accursed be he that seeks to make them foes.
Farewell, my gracious lord. On to my castle.
Margaret, and hear me speak.
No, I can play the better orator.
Thou hast spoke too much already.
Let me speak.
Why, how now, sons? Why are you at a strife?
No quarrel, but a slight contention.
About what?
About that which concerns your grace and us. The crown of England, lady, which is yours?
My boy, not till King Henry be dead.
It depends not on his life or death.
Now you are heir, therefore enjoy it now. By giving the House of Lancaster leave to breed, they will outrun you, mother, in the end.
I took an oath that he should quietly reign.
But for a kingdom, any oath may be broken. I would break 1,000 oaths to reign 1 year.
No! God, you forbid your grace should be forsworn.
I shall be, if I claim by open war.
Prove the contrary if you hear me speak. An oath is of no moment, being not took before a true and lawful magistrate that hath authority over him that swears. Henry had none, but did usurp the place. Your oath, lady, is vain and frivolous. Therefore to arms! And lady, do but think how sweet a thing it is to wear a crown. Why do we finger thus? I cannot rest until the white rose that I wear be dyed even in the lukewarm blood of Henry's heart.
Richard! Enough. I will be queen or die. Thou, Richard, shalt to the Duke of Norfolk and tell him privily of our intent.
The queen with all the northern earls and lords intends here to besiege us in our castle. She is hard by with 20,000 men, and therefore fortify your hold, my lady.
Aye, with my blade. What thinkst thou that we fear them? Edward and Richard, you shall stay with me. The army of the queen mean to besiege us.
I hear the drums. Let's set our men in order and issue forth and bid them battle straits.
Whither shall I fly to escape their hands?
As for the brat of this accursed duchess, whose mother slew my father, she shall die.
The army of the queen hath got the field. My uncles both are slain in rescuing me. And all my followers to the eager foe turn back and fly, like ships before the wind, or lambs pursued by hunger-starved wolves. My sons, God knows what hath bechanced them. But this I know. They have demeaned themselves like men born to renown by life or death. 3 times did Richard make a lane to me, and thrice cried, "Courage, mother! Fight it out!" And full as oft came Edward to my side. And when the hardiest warriors did retire, Richard cried, "Charge, and give no foot of ground!" And cried, "A crown, or else a glorious tomb! A scepter, or an earthly sepulchre!" The fatal follow is to pursue. And I am faint, and cannot fly their fury. And were I strong, I would not shun their fury. The sands are numbered that make up my life. Here must I stay. And here, my life must end.
Yield to her mercy, proud Plantagenet.
As much mercy as her ruthless arm with downright payment showed to my father.
My ashes, as the phoenix, may bring forth a bird that will revenge upon you all. And in that hope I throw mine eyes to heaven, scorning whate'er you can afflict me with. Why come you not, what multitudes in fear?
So cowards fight when they have nowhere left to fly. So doves do peck the falcon's piercing talons. So helpless are those thieves breathing out invectives against the officers.
Oh, Clifford, but bethink thee once again, and in thy thought o'errun my former time. And if thou canst, for blushing, view this face, whose frown hath made thee faint and flyer this.
I will not bandy with thee word for word, but buckle thee blows twice, 2 for 1.
Hold, valiant Clifford. For 1,000 causes I would prolong a while the traitor's life. What, was it you that would be England's queen? Was you that revelled in our parliament and made a preachment of your high descent? Where are your mess of sons to back you now? Look, York, I stain this napkin with the blood that valiant Clifford, with his rapier's point, made issue from the bosom of your girl. And if thine eyes can water for her death, I give thee this, to wipe thy cheeks withal. Alas, poor York. But that I do hate thee deadly, I should lament thy miserable state. I prithee grieve to make me merry, York. Why art thou patient, girl? Thou shouldst be mad, and to make thee mad I do mock thee thus. Stamp, rave, and fret that I may sing and dance. York cannot speak unless she wear a crown. A crown for York, and Lord, bow low to her. Aye, marry sir, now looks she like a queen. Aye, this is she that took King Henry's chair. Off with the crown, and with the crown her head, and whilst we breathe, take time to do her dead.
That is my office, for my father's sake.
Nay, stay. Let's hear the orison she makes.
She-wolf of France, but worse than wolves of France, whose tongue more poisons than the adder's tooth. But that thy face is fitted like, unchanging, made impudent with use of evil deeds, I would essay, proud queen, to make thee blush to tell thee whence thou camest, of whom derived, were shame enough to shame thee, wert thou not shameless. It needs not, nor it boots thee not, proud queen, unless the adage must be verified, that beggars mounted run their horse to death. 'Tis beauty that doth oft make women proud. but God he knows. Thy share thereof is small. 'Tis virtue that doth make us most admired. Oh, a tiger's heart wrapped in a woman's hide. How couldst thou drain the lifeblood of the child to bid the mother wipe her eyes withal, and yet be seen to bear a woman's face? Thou stern, obdurate, flinty, rough, remorseless, bidst thou me rage? Why now thou hast thy wish? Wouldst have me weep? Why now thou hast thy will? See, ruthless queen, a hapless mother's tears. This cloth. This cloth. Thou dipst in blood of my sweet girl. And I, with tears, do wash the blood away. Take the crown. With the crown, my curse. And in thy need such comfort come to thee as now I reap at thy too cruel hand. Hard-hearted Clifford, take me from the world. My soul to heaven. My blood upon your heads.
Here's for my oath. Here's for my father's death.
And here's to right our gentle-hearted king. Off with their head and place it on your gates, so that York may overlook the town of York.
Open thy gate of mercy. Gracious God, my soul flies through these wounds to seek out thee.
Indeed, 'tis true that Henry told me of. And this word, love, which graybeards call divine, be resident in men like one another, and not in me.